think retirement means peace. That's adorable. My name is Victoria, and before the government decided we were assets no longer required, I spent most of my life doing things most people couldn't survive hearing about. Now I garden. Well, I attempt to garden. Turns out it's difficult to care about roses after spending decades watching people panic under pressure. Once you've lived that kind of life, normal starts feeling very strange. You notice things other people don't. Who's nervous? Who's lying? Who walks into a room pretending to be in control? And trust me, the loudest person in the room is almost never the dangerous one. Danger is quiet. That's what people never understand. The truly dangerous people don't need attention. They don't need threats. They don't need to prove anything. By the time you realize they're a problem, it's already too late. I learned that lesson young. Back then, survival meant staying calm while everyone else lost their minds. Fear gets people hurt. Panic gets people noticed. And hesitation. Hesitation gets you buried. So I learned to control everything. My breathing, my reactions, even my emotions, especially my emotions. You can't afford attachments in my world. Of course, nobody actually follows that rule forever. Eventually, someone gets close enough to matter. That's the dangerous part. Because once you care about someone, they stop being a strength and start becoming leverage. That's why retirement never really works for people like us. You can leave the job, sure, but the mindset stays with you. Every crowded room becomes an exit strategy. Every stranger becomes a possible threat. Every silence feels loaded. You don't stop surviving just because the paperwork says you're done. And honestly, part of me didn't want normal anyway. Normal is overrated. Normal people spend their entire lives pretending the world is safe. Pretending bad things happen somewhere else. Then the moment chaos finally walks through the door, they freeze. I never froze. That's why I survived. Not because I was stronger, not because I was fearless, because I accepted something most people refuse to admit. The world can become dangerous without warning. Once you understand that, you stop wasting time on denial. You adapt. That's what Frank understood too. Marvin definitely understood it, though admittedly with significantly more paranoia and explosives. The funny thing is, after everything we survived, people still underestimated us. They saw age and assumed weakness. Big mistake. Experience is far more dangerous than youth. Youth relies on speed. Experience relies on patience, and patience wins far more often. At this point in my life, I don't need excitement. I don't need recognition. I certainly don't need permission. What I need is peace. But if peace disappears, well, let's just say there's a reason some people survive retirement and others don't.